mga katalakay. Dili pwede pugngan o malangan ang edukasyon sa atong mga kabataan. No stoppage of learning. Education must go on. Maoy hinungdan na namugna kining tulumanon og programa sa pagpalambo sa atong mga kabataan pinaagi sa kahanginan. DepEd Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan. DepEd Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan. Usa ka oras ka programa nga mabati matag alas 8 hangtod sa alas 9 sa buntag. Lunes hangtod sa adlaw nga Biyernes. Dinhi sa Radyo Sakto Pagadian DXMB FM 105.3 sa Malindang Broadcasting Network Corporation. DepEd Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan.
Mga higala, adlaw na usab nga Lunes, Marso 29, 2021. Welcome na usab sa atong programa DepEd sa Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan dinhi sa 105.3 Malindang Broadcasting Network. Good morning sa atong mga tigpaminaw, ilabi na ang target nato ani nga programa diin namugna kini para sa pagpadayon sa ilang edukasyon ang atong mga learners. Good morning usab sa ato ang mga ginikanan nga kanino makahatag og tabang sa pag-assist sa ilahang mga anak. Ako nang hinaot nga naminaw ug maminaw kamo sa programa nga gidisenyo para kaninyo matag adlawng Lunes hangtod sa Biyernes alas 8 hangtod alas 9 sa buntag dinhi sa ato ang paboritong estasyon 105.3 MBN Radyo Sakto. Maayong buntag usab sa ato ang Kugihang Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Danny Cordova, ingon man usab sa ato ang dali nga maduulang Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Maria Colleen Emeritia. Kauban nako karon ang abtik og bagtik nga PSDS sa District 9, Sir Dino Alviar. Sir Din, kinsa pay angay natong pangmustahon?
Good morning diha, Ma'am Shi. Good morning usab sa ato ang mga visitors karon. Ma'am Shi, ato pong i-greet o good morning diha ang ato ang tibok pwersa sa DepEd Pagadian City. O sa dili pa nako ihatag ato mga guest speakers karon, ato mga bisita. Ako sang iahawag ang ato ang mga tigpaminaw, mga ginikanan, mga magtutudlo nga dili gid kita mag-relax o magsunod gyud kita permegod sa atong health and safety protocols. Ma'am Shay, good morning.
Yes, maayong buntag, Sir Dean. That's correct, no? And karon na ang ato ang mga EPS, ato ang EPS sa science, si Ma'am Mila Araw, ingon man sab ang ato ang EPS sa mathematics, si Sir Salem Uyag.
Okay.
Nalipay gyud ko, Sir, no, nga si Ma'am Mila og si Sir Salem mangunay gyud sila anhi diri sa estasyon para makauban nato matag adlawng Lunes.
Yes. Okay. Karong buntaga, Ma'am Shi, ang ato karong learning area, ang kaning subject nato sa siyensya ug sa Pilipino agham. Okay, medyo nakinahanglan kaning igo-igo gyud nga elaboration sa ato ang mga intelihente nato nga mga bisita karon sama sa atong education program supervisors, si Ma'am Mila Araw ug si Sir Salim Uyag. So dili ta maglangan mga igsoon. Atong makauban karon si Ma'am Mila Araw, ang atong education program supervisor sa science. Diin karon buntaga aduna kita nga mga pinasidunggang mga bisita nga magtuki sa topic sa colors and intensity of light. Ma'am Mila, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Dino and Ma'am Cheryl. It's Monday morning again and time for science and math. Good morning also, Sir Cam. Good morning sa tanan nga naminaw karon sa atong programa, DepEd Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan. May butag sa ato ang mga grade 7 students kay sila ang ato ang gihatagan og pagtagad karong buntaga. Parents and all teachers, despite the overwhelming consequences of the pandemic, this global crisis has also been an extraordinary time for learning. We are learning how adaptable and resilient educational system, policymakers, teachers, students, and families can be. That is why we are here to share learnings to our precious students.
Okay.
Sir Lynn and Ma'am Shea.
Ma'am Shi, sa ato ang mathematics.
Yes, any words from Sir Salem, sir?
Yes, good morning, maayong buntag, Ma'am Cheryl and Sir Dino, with my partner here in progress, my mentor, Mamela. Good morning. Maayong buntag sa tanang naminaw ning atong programa sa kahanginan Deped Pagadian Edukasyon sa Kabataan din lamang sa atong paboritong station 105.3 DXMB FM Malindang Broadcasting Network.
Okay. So ang atuang unahon pag air sir ang atuang mathematics.
Ang science.
Ang science.
science.
Okay. So, Sir Dean?
Okay, ma'am. Kinsa man na ato ang mag-discuss o mag-explain sa ato ang topic karon?
Karon, sir, and Ma'am Shi and Sir Dino, aduna tay duha ka very dynamic and competent science teacher discussants. With us is Mr. Mateo Sabasales, Master Teacher 2, and Miss Bernadine Lamberang, a Teacher 3 of Sambusur National High School, to discuss about Grade 7 Science, Quarter 3, Module 5. Our competency is about the color and intensity of light. So it is expected that our students will be able to explain the color and intensity of light in terms of wave characteristics, Sir Dean and Ma'am Shi.
Okay.
Good morning, grade 7 students. This is your DepEd Pagadian City School on the Air. We are happy to be with you in this learning session. I'm Teacher Bernadine R. Lamberang from the Zamboanga del Sur National High School, Maine, your teacher guide for today. Kumusta, mga students? Are you ready to learn science this morning? But before we start, please get your module in Science 7, Module 5, your pen and a piece of extra paper. We might be needing that along our session today. Then, I want you to find a comfortable place in your homes while listening to our school on the air. I guess everybody is now ready. Let me introduce to you my co-host for this morning, Sir Matthew T. Sabasales.
Hello, grade 7 students. I am Sir Matthew, your friendly science teacher in Pagadian City. I will gladly assist you today in learning and answering our Module 5 for this third quarter science lesson. Before that, can you still recall the lesson that you have learned from Module 4 last week? Yes, that's right. You have learned about the concepts of wavelength, velocity, and amplitude. Today, our objective is to learn and explain the concepts of colors and intensity of light. We will try to answer these questions. In your own understanding, where do color comes from? Second question, is the intensity of light measurable? And lastly, what does it mean when we say electromagnetic spectrum? Through this radio program, I know that you can easily answer these questions in your module. Are you ready?
Students, kindly open your booklet in Science Quarter 3, Module 5, Activity Number 1, Getting to Know Newton. There you can read the story of Newton, how he discovered the different colors. Newton started experimenting with his celebrated phenomenon of colors. In 1660s, people thought that color was a mixture of light and darkness. Hooke was a proponent of this theory of color and had a scale that went from white, meaning it has the presence of pure light without darkness, then to brilliant red, which was pure light with the least amount of darkness added to it, then to dull blue, which has greater darkness, and the least amount of white light. The last is the scale is black, which was the complete absence of light. Newton realizes this theory was false. Ano kaya ang ginawa ni Newton? Newton made an experiment, and it is become known as his crucial experiment. He used a hole in his shutter to direct a beam of sunlight into his room and refracted this beam using a prism. What is a prism? It is a transparent optical element with flat, polished surfaces that refract light. The shape is like a pyramid that is made up of clear glass. He was able to see the spectrum of colors formed, and then used another prism to refract the separated rays of colors back into a ray of white light. This proved that light is made up of colors. The prism allows them to be seen. Newton coined the phrase the color spectrum, and he chose to split the spectrum into the 7 colors we know today. Are you familiar with the acronym Roy G. Biv in your elementary? What does each letter stands for? R stands for red. O for orange. Y for yellow. Green. G for green. B for blue. I for indigo. And V for violet. Although the spectrum is continuous, with no boundaries between each individual color. Have you seen a rainbow in the sky? The colors are continuous from one to another. Rainbow proves that colors coming from the light of the sun that is refracted in water droplets to different wavelengths displays the colors. He was able to show that each color has its angle of refraction. He used this to prove that an object's color is a property of the light refracting of it, rather than something inherent within the object itself. After hearing this, let us answer activity number 1.
Okay, mao ni ang mga questions sa activity number 1, Teacher Ading. Number 1, how did people in 1660s believe colors were created? Unsa ka ang answer ni Teacher Ading?
Okay, people believe that color was a mixture of light and darkness.
Okay, mao ba pud na inyong answer mga students? Very good. For question number 2, what did Newton use to create a beam of light? What do you think, students?
I think Newton used a hole in his shutter to direct a beam of sunlight into his room.
Correct. So for question number 3, why was Newton's experiment known as crucial?
It was crucial because he is able to see the spectrum of colors formed and prove that light is made up of colors, just like what had been shown in his experimental setup nga makita nato sa illustration na sa ibabaw sa page 2.
Okay. Proceed to question number 4. What did he prove about how we see an object's color?
He was able to show that each color has its angle of refraction. He used this to prove that an object's color is a property of the light refracting of it. Meaning to say, ang color jud di ay gikan sa light nga ning-bend into different angles. Tan-awa gani ninyo sa page 3. Makita ninyo diha sa ubos nga picture that light passed through a prism separates white light into its component colors.
Okay. So sa question number 5, if you were Isaac Newton, how would you caption or label the sketch of your crucial experiment? Unsa ka mahimong answer nato ani, Teacher Adine?
We have there an example, colors of light, the reveal experiment. But you can also give your own answers. So I think you may differ in your answers, and I'm sure that your teacher will check your work when you are going to pass your module.
Okay? Now you know that colors comes from light. So let's proceed to activity number 2. Let there be light. So anything that produces its own light is called a light source. Some sources of light are natural and some are artificial. When we say natural, it is there in nature even before the existence of man. When we say artificial source of light, it is made by man. So inside the box are examples of sources of light. Select from the box and identify if it is natural light source or artificial light source. Write your answers on the table. I'll give you a few minutes to answer that. Okay, time's up. Let's check your answer. Teacher Adine, unsa kaha ang mga natural source of light?
Okay, we have star, sun, and lightning.
That's correct. How about artificial source of light?
We have here candle, fire, flashlight, lamp, light bulb, glow stick, TV, red hot iron, and burning coal.
Correct. I hope everybody got it right. So this time, we want you to turn to page 3. So the brightness of the light or kahayag sa suga depends on the source and the distance from the source. Just like carrying a flashlight. Kung duol ka sa flashlight, mas hayag. Kung layo ka sa flashlight, magkadulom ang siga sa flashlight. Brightness, however, is qualitative and is dependent on the person's perception. Depende kani sa atong pag-describe kung hayag ba o dili. Pero pwede na to i-measure ang kakusog sa kahayag or ang intensity of light. Quantitatively, brightness can be expressed as luminous intensity with a unit known as candela. Take a look at figure 1. It is an improvised photometer setup. Inyo makita na ang bulb na gimarkahan og number 1 mas layo sa improvised photometer kaysa sa kandela nga gimarkahan og number 2. Pero naghatag sila og pareho nga intensity sa light, meaning mas hayag ang bulb kaysa isa ka kandela. Kay layo man kini sa photometer. So kung atong ipareho ang distansya sa bulb o kandila, pwede nato makuha ang equivalent nga number sa kandela nga moparehas sa intensity sa bulb. Kung pila tanan ang kandela nga mohatag og pareho nga kahayag sa bulb, mao kadto ang equivalent sa intensity of light bulb. Then the unit of the intensity of light bulb is called candela.
Salamat sa pagpasabot, Sir Matt, na pwede di ay nato ma-measure ang intensity of light using the improvised photometer.
Intensity of light is one of the properties of light. This time, we will talk another property of light. It's called dispersion. As you can remember earlier, we discussed how Newton discovered the different colors through his experiment using prism. So it proves that colors comes from white light, and the separation of colors is called dispersion. Dispersion is defined as the process by which light is separated into its colors due to differences in degrees of refraction as it passes through a prism. Newton called this phenomenon of dispersion of light as the color spectrum. Diri gikuha ang primary colors of light. And what are those? Red, green, and blue. Dali ra kini nato mahinumduman kay na siya abbreviation nga RGB. So the secondary colors of light are combinations of the primary colors. So when red light combines with green light, it will produce yellow light. When blue and green combine, they will produce cyan. And when red and blue combine, will produce magenta. If we combine the three colors, red, green, and blue light, it will yield white light. Siguro makonfuse mo sa pigment. Gusto nako klaruhon nga lahi ang primary color sa pigment ug lahi pod ang primary color sa light. There are three primary colors sa pigment. Mao kini ang cyan, magenta, and yellow. Kung i-combine nato ang cyan ug magenta, mo-produce kini og blue. Pero kung i-combine nato ang magenta ug yellow, mo-produce kini og red. While kung i-combine nato ang cyan ug yellow, mo-produce kini og green. Opposite kini sa atong maobserbaran didto sa pigment sa light. Kay kung i-combine ang tulo ka primary color sa pigment, mo yield kini siya og black. So mga bata, napabay another properties of light aside from intensity and dispersion? Teacher Adin, unsa kaha ang other properties of light?
I think na pa. Nakita nako diha sa picture sa page 3 na mi-bend ang colors into different angles. The bending of light as it passed through a different medium is called refraction.
That's a very good observation, Teacher Adin. Aside from Sir Isaac Newton, Christian Huygens believed that light behaves like a particle. But Louis de Broglie believed that light has dual nature. He explained that light can be a particle and can also be a wave. So James Clerk Maxwell proposed the electromagnetic theory of light. There are different forms of electromagnetic waves arranged according to frequency and wavelength. This is what we call electromagnetic spectrum. So since wave carries energy, each electromagnetic wave carries different level of energy. Kindly refer to electromagnetic spectrum. What are the 7 electromagnetic waves? Can you name it?
Okay, if we're going to look at the electromagnetic spectrum, from left going to right, we have radio wave, microwave, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays.
That's right. In the electromagnetic spectrum, which electromagnetic wave is visible to the naked eye? Correct, the one in the middle. And what is it? The visible light, or what we call the white light. The rest cannot be seen by our naked eye. It's because the wavelength is either too long or too short. The color that we see is a result of which wavelength are reflected back to our eyes. See the picture at the bottom of page 4. Which color has the shortest wavelength? That's correct, violet. Which has the longest wavelength? Correct, red. As you can see in the color spectrum from violet going down to red, the wavelength is increasing from 400 nanometers to 665 nanometers. At this point, you're going to construct a spectrum wheel in activity 3. My spectrum wheel. Read the activity carefully and follow the instructions in part 1. You can do your output after our radio program. Meanwhile, we will try to guide you on how to find the values of energy, frequency, and wavelength of the different colors of light. Upon putting the spectrum wheel on the second wheel, align the small window to the specific color. For example, red. The larger window will give the value of frequency expressed in terms of THz or terahertz, followed by the wavelength expressed in nm, or that is what we call nanometer. And lastly, energy carried by the waves expressed in EV, or electron volt. Going back to our example read, the frequency is 422 terahertz, wavelength is 700 nanometer, and energy is 1.77 electron volt. Now it's your turn. Locate color violet in the spectrum wheel. What is the frequency, the energy, and the wavelength of violet?
Okay, if you're going to refer, the answer can be found in the spectrum wheel. And we can see that violet has the frequency which has an equivalent to 744 terahertz, while the wavelength is 400 nanometer, and the energy is 2.95 electron volt. What have you noticed on the relationship between frequency and wavelength?
Teacher Adin, I have noticed that the greater the frequency, the shorter the wavelength, meaning frequency and wavelength has inverse relationship with each other. Then, another pattern is with regard to energy and wavelength. They also are inversely related with each other. While in terms of frequency and energy, they are directly proportional, meaning as the frequency increases, the energy also increases. Salamat, Teacher Adin, sa nindot kaayo nga pagtulunan. This time, we would like to do the same with the rest of the, we would like you to do the same with the rest of the colors.
Okay, now my dear, I hope you learned a lot while enjoying the lesson. You still have other activities in the module to further enhance your knowledge. Please continue answering the remaining activities and assessment. If you have difficulty, feel free to contact your teacher to help you. It was fun working with you in accomplishing the module. This has been Teacher Adin. Thank you so much for the next radio lesson. It's such a pleasure to be with you, Sir Matt. Thank you for being with us.
Just a little important reminder, students. Now that we are experiencing a global health emergency brought by COVID-19 pandemic, it is just right to take utmost care of our health. Practice self-care at the same time rekindle our commitment to take good care of our studies. Once again, this is your friendly science teacher, Mr. Matthew T. Sabasales. This is DepEd Pagadian City, School on the Air. Good day, everyone.
Alright. So, nahuman na ta sa ato ang science, no? And I think daghan jud nakatunan ang ato ang mga kabatan-unan kabahin sa colors. Okay, so Ma'am Mil.
Okay, Mamil, no? Nindot kay ang topic sa maong diskusyon. Na dito ang colors and intensity of colors. Now, Mamil, doon ako ipangutana ba? Kaning ato abitong mga object na to sama ibutang na to kani atong mga bulak na sa mga color. Ngano man kaning na sila yung mga color?
Kana ato ang mga bulak, Sir Dean, if all the lights are being absorbed, there will be no color. No color at all. But if some lights are reflected and absorbed, maunay na ay color.
Okay.
Mo na different lights and ga-reflect sa ilaha o gi-absorb. So, naa sila yung mga color.
So, mo ni Ma'am Mil, no, nga o February 14 sagad mag-color gyud og red. Kinaama di color nga na-absorb.
Yes.
Ma'am Mil, kaning sa ato ang mga insect ba? Iklap sama ato ang ani atong kusog kay nging mamaak na to nga mosquitoes. Siguro kaning mga mosquitoes to mga lumok. Naapo ni mga color sila nga attractive ug naapo ni colors nga gikalagutan. Unsa ka ni no kaning mga lumok?
Ang kaning mga lamok nato, Sir Dean, as I have observed, or mauna gyud na proven and tested nga, attracted jud na sila sa mga dark colors like black and blue.
Okay.
No? Wato ka garden, magsuot kag black, di ba? Kuninitan jud ka
Okay.
lamok. But, dili sila ganahan ana mga light colors. Kana mga light ang mga kuan. So, dili sila attracted. So, di gyud na sila mo dool. So, wato ka garden, dapat magputi ka.
Okay, sa ato paabot pasabot na Mil, all light colors no.
Yes, all light
Lagot
colors.
sila kaya na.
Lagot sila ana.
Sa kani sir no magpalamok ka taning niya no.
Mao di na sir napit ganahan ako kay dark color mo.
Now I know the
Okay, ma'am,
reason.
sige.
Hugot.
Lagi, bantog ra mamil, matingala ko sa among balay na magboy pution dito. Dili siya permanente pa akon og lamok, inig magtan-aw mig TV.
Oo.
Ako mo'y tabangan og lamok, sir, kay nigrahon
Kay
ako.
darker.
Kabalo na ko. Bantog ra ganahan ang lamok nato, sir. Salay mo.
Oh, ang gwapo ato sir og ang lamok babae putong mga lamok ato. Joke lang.
Siya may tabangan sa babaeng lamok.
Okay, Ma'am Si, sa atong ikaduha na to nga bisita karon.
Okay, so kahibalo ko nabusog ato ang mga bata no sa pagtulunan sa science. Now this time, let's move to mathematics. Sir Salem.
Yes, Ma'am Si. Salamat, Madam Cheryl o Sir Dino. Karong buntaga atong mapaminaw ang usa ka banggiitan nga magtutudlo sa Pagadian City Pilot School. Yahang paghisgutan ang topic nga finding missing term and number sa Mathematics Grade 4, Module 4 or ika-upat nga semana. Busa akong gihangyo ang mga tinun-an sa Math 4, ilahang mga mahigugmaon nga mga ginikanan o ang mga pinalangga namo nga mga magtutudlo sa pagpaminaw karong buntaga. Our radio teacher this morning is a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education at Philippine Normal University Class 1990.
Bagtik.
She is already 21 years in the Department of Education. She is the Vice President of MTAP, Pagadian City Chapter. Usa ka brilliant nga master teacher sa Pagadian City Pilot School. Please join me welcoming Madam Hazel Agnes P. Humamil.
Pagadian, mayong buntag sa among mga tigpaminaw. Ako karon ang inyong higalang magtutudlo sa kahanginan. Teacher Hazel Agnes Humamil nga magtutudlo sa Pagadian City Pilot School. Welcome sa tulumanong paglambo sa salabutan pinaagi sa kahanginan. Kini nga programa gipasiugdahan sa DepEd Pagadian City Division. Karong taknaa atong hisgutan ang leksyon sa Mathematics Grade 4, Week 4. Manghinaot ako nga komportable kamo karon sa inyong pagpaminaw. Sa atong mga ginikanan nga naminaw karon, maayo nga matabangan ninyo ang inyong mga anak. Pwede nato andamon ang lapis o ballpen, ang inyong notebook o papel. Andam na ba kamo? Usa nato pagasugdan ang atong leksyon, mag-warm up una kita ug skip counting. Let us skip count by 2 up to 20. Together we say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now, let's skip count by 5 up to 50. Together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. What about skip counting by 7 up to 70? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. Activity 1 is called Check if I am arranged in order. Write a check if the set of numbers are arranged in ascending, descending form correctly, and put an X if it is arranged incorrectly. Akong utruhon ang mga sulundon. Isulat ang check kung ang mga numero nga ihatag kay nakahanay gikan sa kinagamyan padulong sa kinadakan, o nakahanay ba kini gikan sa kinadakan padulong sa kinagamyan. Para sa ascending numbers, kinagamyan padulong kinadakan. Isulat ang inyong tubag sa papel. Number 1. Sakto ba pagkahanay padako ang 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? Check or X? Ang tubag kay check. Sakto ba ang inyong tubag? Very good. Number 2. Sakto ba pagkahanay padako ang 5, 10, 15, 20, 25? Check or X? Ang tubag kay check. Kumusta ang inyong tubag, mga bata? Very good. Number 3. Sakto ba pagkahanay padako ang 20, 18, 16, 14, 12? Check or X? Ang tubag kay X. Sakto ba ang inyong tubag? Very good. Para sa descending numbers, isulat ang inyong tubag sa papel. Number 1. Sakto ba pagkahanay ang mga numero nga 42, 47, 40, 38, 36 gikan sa kinadakan hangtod sa kinagamyan? Ang tubag kay X. Sa nakakuha sa sakto nga tubag? Very good. Now we go to the next item. Item number 2. Sakto ba pagkahanay ang mga numero nga 20, 18, 16, 14, 12 gikan sa kinadakan hangtod sa kinagamyan? Ang tubag kay check. Kumusta ang inyong tubag, mga bata? Very good. Atong paminawon karon ang item number 3. Sakto ba pagkahanay ang mga numero nga 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 gikan sa kinadakan hangtod sa kinagamyan? Ang tubag check. Very good. To find the missing term in each sequence of numbers, we should determine the order of number if it is ascending or descending. Find the difference between the consecutive terms and determine whether the difference between the terms are all odd numbers, even numbers, or multiples of a number. I am now giving an example in finding the missing term in an ascending sequence of the following numbers: 7, 10, blank, 16, blank. Akong utruhon. 7, 10, blank, 16, blank. Unsa nga numero ang angay nga ibutang sa blanko? Magsugod kita sa 7. Misunod ang 10. Nganong 10 man? Sakto, kay gidugangan kini og 3. Karon, kung dugangan pod og 3 ang 10, pila ang tubag? 13. Sakto. Kung atong dugangan og 3 ang 13, unsay tubag? 16. Great. Kung dugangan og 16 ang 3, unsay tubag? 19. Very good. So, ang saktong hanay sa mga numero kay 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. Giunsa pagkuha ang answer? Correct. Gidugangan og 3 kada numero. Let us have one more example in finding the missing term in a descending sequence. Unsa gani ang descending? Magagikan ta sa kinadak-an padulong sa kinagamyan. Isulat sa inyong papel ang 45, 37, 29, blank, blank, 5. Akong utruhon, 45, 37, 29, blank, blank, 5. Ang unang numero kay 45. Unsay gibuhat sa 45 nga 37 man ang ning sunod? Sakto, gikuhaan kini og 8. Pagkahuman sa 37, misunod ang 29. Nganong 29 man? Tama. Ang 37 kay gikuhaan og 8. Ang nabilin kay 29. Very good. Unsa kaha ang musunod sa 29? 21. Correct. Nganong 21 man? Tama. 8 was subtracted from 29. We are doing good, kids. What number should follow 21? Very good. The answer is 13, followed by 5. The common difference between the sequence terms is 8. Gasigi tagkuha og 8 sa kada numero. Let us work on what's more. This activity is called Fill Me In. The instruction is fill in the missing even or odd number. Get ready with your papers now. Isulat ang akong isulti. Number 1. 2, 4, 6, blank, 10, blank. Akong utruhon. 2, 4, 6, blank, 10, blank. Unsa kaha ang numero nga angay natong ibutang sa blanko? Correct. 8 and 12. Ang saktong hanay kay 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Now let's go to number 2. I-ready ang papel. 5, 10, blank, blank, 25, 30. Again, 5, 10, blank, blank, 25, 30. Unsa kaha ang numero nga angay ibutang sa blanko? Correct. 15 and 20. We are now in item number 3. Ready? Write this on your paper. 4, 8, 12, blank, 20, blank. Again, 4, 8, 12, blank, 20, blank. Unsa kaha ang numero nga angay natong ibutang sa blank? Correct. 16 and 24. Item number 4. You have to write down the numbers that I will dictate. 64, 57, blank, 43, blank, 29. Akong utruhon. 64, 57, blank, 43, blank, 29. What number should be placed on the blanks? Correct. 50 and 36. You did very well, children. Let us now go to what I can do part of the lesson. And we call this activity, Help Me Find the Missing Part. This activity tells us to complete the number sequence by filling in the missing terms. Kinahanglan makumpleto nato ang pagkasunod-sunod sa mga numero. Set 1. 5, 6, 8, blank, 15, blank. Again. 5, 6, 8, blank, 15, blank. Unsa ang saktong tubag? Correct. The answers are 11 and 20. Very good. Question is, how did you get your answer? Listen. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. 11 plus 4 is equal to 15. 15 plus 5 is equal to 20. Kinsay nakakuha sa saktong pamaagi? Very good! Ang saktong hanay kay 5, 6, 8, 11, 15, 20. Now we go to item number 2. Ready? 18, 20, 24, blank, 38, blank. Again. 18, 20, 24, blank, 38, blank. And what is your answer? Very good. The correct answers are 30 and 48. Question. How did you get your answer? Listen, kids. 8 plus 2 is equal to 20. 20 plus 4 is equal to 24. 24 plus 6 is equal to 30. 30 plus 8 is equal to 38. 38 plus 10 is equal to 48. And you are correct. The answers are 30 and 48. Ang saktong hanay kay 18, 20, 24, 28, 38, 48. Item number 3. Ready? 55, 54, 51, 46. Blank, blank, 19. Again, and I repeat. 55, 54, 51, 46. Blank, blank, 19. So what is your answer? Great! The answers are 39 and 30. And how did you get your answers? Atong subayon isa-isa giun sa pagkuha sa saktong tubag. 55 minus 1 is equal to 54. 54 minus 3 is equal to 51. 51 minus 5 is equal to 46. 46 minus 7 is equal to 39. 39 minus 9 is equal to 30. And 30 minus 11 is equal to 19. The answers are 39 and 30. And the correct sequence is 55, 54, 51, 46, 39, 10, 19. Very good. The last number for this activity is number 4. Listen. Here are the numbers: 82, 81, 78, blank, 66, blank. I repeat, 82, 81, 78, blank, 66, blank. What is the answer? Correct. The answers are 73 and 57. It is time to check the answers. Listen. 82 minus 1 is equal to 81. 81 minus 3 is equal to 78. 78 minus 5 is equal to 73. 73 minus 7 is equal to 66. 66 minus 9 is equal to 57. Okay, very good. The answers are 73 and 57. Now that you already know how to find the missing terms, we are now going to have a very short quiz. Prepare your pencil and paper as I am about to read the items. Listen to the direction carefully. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Pwede isulat sa gigunitang papel aron dali makuha ang answer. Number 1. What is the third term and the fifth term of the given sequence? 33, 35, blank, 39, blank, 43. The choices are A, 37 and 41, B, 36 and 42, C, 37 and 43, D, 35 and 42. I repeat, what is the third term and the fifth term of the given sequence? 33, 35, blank, 39, blank, 43. The choices are A, 37 and 41, B, 36 and 42, C, 37 and 43, D, 35 and 42. Item number 2. What is the second term and the fifth term in number sequence 41, blank, 51, 56, blank? And the choices are A, 46, 51, B, 45, 60, C, 46, 61, D, 45, 61. Akong balikon ang number 2. What is the second term and the fifth term in number sequence 41, blank, 51, 56, blank. The choices are A, 46 and 51, B, 45 and 60, C, 46 and 61, D, 45 and 61. Number 3. Here is a number pattern. What three numbers should go in the blank? 100, 1, 99, 2, 98, blank, blank, blank. I repeat. Here is a number pattern. What three numbers should go in the blank? 100, 1, 99, 2, 98, blank, blank, blank. The choices are A, 3, 97, and 5. B, 4, 97, and 6. C, 3, 96, and 4. D, 3, 97, and 4. Let's now go to number 4. Lorena visits her sister every 7th day of the week. She visited her sister last December 1, 2014. At what date will she visit her sister for the 4th time? A, December 8, 2014. B, December 22, 2014. C, December 15, 2014. D, December 29, 2014. I'm going to repeat the problem. Lorena visits her sister every 7th day of the week. She visited her sister last December 1, 2014. At what date will she visit her sister for the 4th time? A, December 8, 2014. B, December 22, 2014. C, December 15, 2014. D, December 29, 2014. Item number 5. Alma has a magic basket. Anything she places inside the basket doubles every minute. If she placed an apple inside the basket, how many apples would there be after 6 minutes? A, 8 apples. B, 16 apples. C, 32 apples. D, 64 apples. Akong usbo ng pagbasa sa pangutana number 5. Alma has a magic basket. Anything she places inside the basket doubles every minute. If she placed an apple inside the basket, how many apples would there be after 6 minutes? A, 8 apples. B, 16 apples. C, 32 apples. D, 64 apples. Okay, we are now done with our quiz. It's time to check your answers. What is the answer for number 1? Correct. The answer is letter A, 37 and 41. What about the answer for number 2? Great. The answer is letter C, 46 and 61. What about the answer for question number 3? Correct. The answer is letter D, 3, 97, and 4. Very good. Unsa man ang tubag sa ikaupat nga pangutana? Tama. Ang tubag kay D. December 29, 2014. For question number 5, the answer is yes. The correct answer is D. 64 apples. Very good. Clap, clap, clap for the kids. Good job, kids. And now we are done with the lesson in grade 4 mathematics for week 4. Great day, everyone! Naaba kamoy nakatunan karong adlaw? Mga bata, dako ang akong kalipay sa inyong pagpaminaw karon sa atong leksyon. Ug nakakaton kamo pinaagi sa pag-apil o pagtubag sa mga activities. Akong gipanginaot nga hatagan gayud nato og higayon kada semana ang pagpaminaw sa programang Pagpalambo sa Kaalam sa salabutan nga gibugna sa DepEd PAGADIAN para kaninyo mga kabataan. Hangtod sa sunod nga higayon, kani inyong higalang magtutudlo, Hazel Agnes P. Humamil from PAGADIAN City Pilot School at your service. Daghang salamat sa pagpaminaw.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Ma'am Hazel Agnes P. Humamil of PAGADIAN City Pilot School. Sir Salem. Okay. Maayo gyud kay kamo kuan sir no? Mupili og mga teacher radio broadcaster.
Yeah, mao jud Ma'am Cheryl.
Maayo kamo sinati. Sir Sal, unsa may importansya anang finding the missing terms? Ganong atoa man gyud ang pangitao ng kanang nangawala na.
Pangitaon jud ang nangawala.
Yes.
Nindot kayong pangutana, Ma'am Cheryl. Kalakip sa situation, Ma'am Cheryl, ato gyud ang pangitawon ng mga nawala kanang gitawag nga X kay ilabi na kung daghan mo og mga moments, mga memories. Pero ang problema, Ma'am Cheryl, kung pangitawon nimo nga layo kayo, Ma'am Cheryl, kay nay panultihon nga nearest is the sweetest.
So dito yun ita sa pinakaduol.
Pinakaduol. So gidiscuss ni Ma'am Hazel, Ma'am Cheryl, nindot kayo og naay mga techniques nga iyahang gihatag. Ilabi na kung gitawag nga ascending ang mga terms o katong descending ang mga terms. So para sa mga bata, sa mga grade 4 pupils, ang technique diha is you have to get the difference of the second and the first term to get the missing term. Then namay gitawag nga rule kanang sa Filipino pa panuntunan, sa Binisaya pa pagmando. So kung ang difference is 2, then kanang difference nga 2 i-add nimo na sa mga terms. Pananglitan 2, 6, 8 o nga ang next nga term missing siya. So kung ang 2 ang imuhang difference is 2, so i-add nimo na pananglitan 2, so plus 2, so next na expected 4, so 4 plus 2 na pod, 6 na pod, then so on.
Yes.
Mao na siya, Ma'am Cheryl. So it is very important to find the X.
The X. Okay. Yes, that's right. Dayon, Sir Sal, no, ako ang namatikdan sa mga exams, sa mga dagko nga exams, kani mura man siya sequence, sir, diba?
Sequence, yes.
Kani siya naagyo ni siya permanente sa mga dagko nga exams.
Yes.
So as early as elementary years sa mga bata, dapat ilahan na gyud ning ma-master.
Correct.
So that by time nga mo take sila dagko nga exams, easy na lang ni sila.
Yes,
Diba?
Ma'am Si.
Okay.
Sakto gyud ka, Ma'am Si.
Yes. So it's nice to look for the X sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ma'am Mil, Sir Sal, Sir Dean, wala na tayong igang panahon, no? Any words, Ma'am Mila?
Ma'am Shi and Sir Dino, nabati nato kaganina ang discussion sa atong mga teachers about the color and intensity of light in terms of wave characteristics. To Sir Matt and Ma'am Nadine, the way you present your lesson stimulated the intellectual curiosity of students. Very interesting and relevant. You made it easy for students to understand. We hope nga nakatabang kita nga mahimong mas masayon ang pagtubag sa atong mga students sa ilang modules in Science 7.
Okay.
Ma'ams.
Aha.
Sir and ma'am.
Okay, Mamila, atong nakita dire medyo at istorya po si Sir Salim Uyag.
Kaya sa tanang mga naminaw, karong buntaga, salamat sa paggahin sa inyong oras sa pagpaminaw ni Teacher Hazel Agnes P. Humamil. Karong April 5, 2021, mobalik na usab kita din sa atong paboritong FM station 105.3 para sa grade 5. Ang atong radio teacher si Sir Ernesto P. Cubio. Sa inyong tanan, daghang salamat.
Sir Dean?
Okay. So, Ma'am She, wala naman kita oras. Well, human naman ni pag-discuss o pag-elaborate ang atong mathematics o science sa topic. Hinaot pa ang mga nakatabang kinigdako sa ato ang mga ginikanan o mga estudyante. Sa ngalan na lang sa ato ang SDS Sir Danny Bicordo ba, daghang salamat sa iyong pagpaminaw og maayong buntag. Ma'am She.
Okay, so sama sa imong giingon sir, wala na kita igong panahon sa pagpadayon sa atong programa. Kita nagapasalamat sa atong duha ka sincero nga focal persons nga permanente nato makauban sa adlong Lunes, si Ma'am Mila ug si Sir Salim. Ingon man usab sa ato ang mga pinalanggang tigpaminaw ang atong mga kabatan-unan, mga ginikanan ug mga magtutudlo nga walay puas ang pagsuporta ug pagsunod ni ining atong programa nga diri lamang mabati sa estasyong DXMB 105.3 Malindang Broadcasting Network Radyo Sakto. Sa pangalan sa ato ang Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Danny Cordova ug sa tibok program management team ni ining radio-based instruction sa City Division, kini ang inyong higala sa kahanginan ang inyong makauban sa matag adlong Lunes alas 8 hangtod alas 9 sa buntag. Teacher Cheryl nagaingon, knowledge is power. Maayong buntag.
Sa ating nasinunod. Dili pwede pugngan o malangan ang edukasyon sa atong mga kabataan. No stoppage of learning. Education must go on. Maoy hinungdan na namugna kining tulumanon og programa sa pagpalambo sa atong mga kabataan pinaagi sa kahanginan. DepEd, Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan. DepEd, Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan. Usa ka oras ka programa nga mabati matag alas 8 hangtod sa alas 9 sa buntag. Lunes hangtod sa adlaw nga Biyernes. Dinhi sa Radyo Sakto, Pagadian, DXMB FM 105.3 sa Malindang Broadcasting Network Corporation. DepEd, Pagadian, Edukasyon sa Kabataan.